Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Marvel Legends, Marvel Knights Mindless One, Build-A-Figure Wave, Gamerverse, Midnight Suns, Iron Man. Ciao and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends, Marvel's Knights Mindless One, Build-A-Figure Wave. As in front of me today, we have the only Gamerverse figure in this wave. It is the Midnight Suns, Iron Man. Now, if you watch this channel, then you will know, unfortunately, I'm not really much of a gamer. When you've got a full-time job and a YouTube hustle on the side, it doesn't really leave a lot of time for games, unfortunately. So I have not played Midnight Suns, but from a quick look online, it seems to be a mystical story within the Marvel Universe, and a lot of popular characters have been given these upgraded black and gold costumes and upgrades, and Iron Man is no exception to that. And it does look nice in figure form. Iron Man's also one of those characters that sort of blurs the line of media, as even though this is technically a Gamerverse figure, why can't you put it into an MCU display or a comic display? I think it will work absolutely fine. So that's why I give him a pass. But otherwise, just my opinion, I don't think we should be getting Gamerverse figures in a regular Build-A-Figure wave. I would like to keep the Gamerverse figures as a separate exclusive, as for me, I don't really want them. It's not really character designs that I'm familiar with, but I get it. Games are super popular and the new generation coming through it in being introduced to these characters for the first time through games. So I understand it's important to make them available as well, but again, just being a selfish old man, keep them away from my Build-A-Figure ways. But you need him to complete the Mindless One, so he does come with the leg, he comes with a set of interchangeable hands and some blaster effects, and I'm assuming there's a lot of reuse here, maybe a few new pieces, we shall figure that out. But here he is in the white Gamerverse packaging that we are familiar with. You get the Midnight Suns logo on the front as well, so it is an official release of that game. Then you get an image of Iron Man on either side from the game, and on the back of the box you get a write-up that reads: after a deadly bomb blast, millionaire, playboy genius Tony Stark perfects a high-tech suit of armor and decides to use his technology and privilege to reshape the world. And then to build the Mindless One, you will need to buy 6 of the 7 figures in this wave. Today we are reviewing Iron Man, and as I said, you can't skip him as he does have a Build-A-Figure piece, and that was a very generic sort of bio, wasn't it? I would have preferred a little bit more detail of the Midnight Suns version, but never mind, let's get him open. Here we have Iron Man out of the packaging with all of his accessories on the table, including the last Build-A-Figure piece we need for the Mindless One Build-A-Figure. So you know what to do, subscribe and come back, as the next review is likely going to be the Mindless One. Looking forward to that. Today, let's focus on Iron Man. His accessories are an interchangeable set of hands and some brand new exclusive blast effects. My producer's telling me we've actually seen these a million times already. Now, I actually think they work fine. Would I like to see something new? Of course I would. But remember, every figure could be someone's first. So especially with a Gamerverse figure, we could be introducing a kid to their first Marvel Legend. So I understand why they have to keep including these things in there. But let me move them out of the way and let me get the tape measure out. And we can see that Iron Man stands at about 6 3/4 inches, so pretty impressive. And as expected, as we all expected, it is a lot of reuse. So here we have the previous Gamerverse Iron Man figure. So joke's on me, as even though I hate the game, well, I don't hate, hate's a strong word, even though I wouldn't prefer to have Gamerverse figures in my Build-A-Figure waves, I always end up with them because they have Build-A-Figure pieces, annoyingly. So as you can see, the reuse is from the feet all the way up to like the mid-torso, and then this Iron Man does have a new torso, new head, and maybe some adjusted shoulder pieces, but the arms are otherwise the same as well. So I will do a closer look and better comparison in a second. But here we have the very old Marvel Legend black and gold Iron Man that came in maybe a Hulkbuster wave way back in the day. I'm thinking 2015, so a long time ago. So yeah, this new one is definitely an upgraded version of a black and gold armor you can use in a display, and it's essentially these two smashed together to create this guy. Before we zoom in, let's just compare Iron Man to some actual images from the source material. So here we have a graphic from that game, and as you can see, Iron Man does does look pretty accurate, so you can never be mad when a figure is accurate to what it's meant to represent. Even the mystical effects around the arc reactor on the helmet are here, so they have upgraded a few parts of this Iron Man figure. And again, the game doesn't look that exciting to me. It looks like a card game, but you let me know if you've played it in the comments below. Is it any good? The character designs are undoubtedly very cool though, and this Iron Man is no exception. So yeah, looking good. Taking a look at the helmet, he has a gold faceplate, the whited out eyes, and then around the trim of the gold faceplate, you actually see these mystical symbols in like a bronze deco, which when it hits the light, do shine very well, which is accurate to the game. So they have very nicely represented that on the Marvel Legend figure here, and it's not just on the face that they do that. Now, I did have a look against some other Marvel Legend Iron Man figures, both MCU and comic, and I couldn't really find an exact match for the helmet. So if you know where it's from, let me know. Otherwise, it could be new, but it does look very similar to a lot of Iron Man helmets. Of course it does. But you get the gold faceplate, as I said, and then otherwise it's black all the way around. And it has got a disc and hinge, which does allow you to get the head looking all the way up, which is perfect for those Iron Man flying poses. So I think people will be happy with that. Now, the torso is new, as you have this arc reactor in like a diamond shaped, and then around the arc reactor, you get these mystical symbols, which are sculpted, and my gold paint is missing them just slightly. Only ever so slightly. You do not notice when you're not zoomed in like this, but it works absolutely fine. And then again, on the gold, on the chest here, you can see those same mystical symbols in like a bronze deco, just very subtly. But again, when the light hits it just right, you can see them and does create a nice effect. Again, he's like mystically charged, I believe, but it does look really good. So yeah, new upper torso piece. On the back, you just get that same mechanical style. And then the rest of the figure is what we've seen before already from the Gamerverse Iron Man, nicely sculpted in all the mechanical style. You get the double jointed knees and elbows. Unfortunately, you do have the pins though, so those black pins stand out on the gold armor. That's always frustrating. The ab crunch, you can go forward a little bit and then back more so. So when you utilize that with the head, again, you get him in great flying poses. And then yeah, I just like the black and gold. What can I say? I know it's very simple, but it just looks sharp, crisp, smart. So yeah, I like it. So again, reuse from the previous Gamerverse Iron Man, and then maybe new torso, head, and shoulders. Again, these are like a unique shape, and they're attached to the top of the arm as well. So it does make it very limiting. Like I feel like I'm going to snap the arm off the bicep if I try and force it up anymore. So the arms are only going out that far for me. So that is frustrating. They will go out forward. There is the bicep swivel, and then you have got the double jointed elbow, of course, but the thick armor, that's about the range you're going to get. So yeah, the shoulders are a point of frustrating for sure. Do you have that same issue? Let me know. There is a waist swivel here as well, hidden within the sculpt, which is like so. The legs go out about that far. Let me zoom out what's going on here. They go out about that far as well, and then you have the double jointed knee, and he can kick his own butt if you force it. But yeah, it's a solid Iron Man figure, it really is. And again, I know it's a Gamerverse figure, but Iron Man is one of those characters, because of the Hall of Armor on a display, you can really fudge him in anywhere you want. So once again, fisted hands out of the packaging, and they have the side-to-side hinge, no holes on those for the blast effects, and you can swap them out for the open palm effects, and these do have the hole attachment in for the blast effects, this time in a nice red, which is a good contrast compared to the gold and black. They plug in there, no problem at all. And what's really good about these hands, unlike many other Iron Man figures, they actually have the hinge in the wrist for the effect. Like, that makes such a difference. Like, now you can actually pose your Iron Man properly with his hand out, pointing the blast or pointing it down. So again, you could use it for like flying or for just pointing at enemies. It's just the shoulders from the side are not going to go up, unfortunately. But there you go. There you have the hands. Bravo. They should always have the joint going up and down. Again, many of our Iron Man figures do not have that. Let me try and plug that one in here. Come on now, there you go, it's in. So now we have our Iron Man with our red blast effect. And absolutely, you can also plug them into the boots as well for some jet propulsion blast effects. So yeah, there are peg holes on the feet that you can plug these into. So again, we have a lot of these in the collection already, so you can mix and match and do whatever you want. But they do look good in red. Here we have 4 of the Marvel Legend Gamerverse figures together. So as you can see, you can start creating a Gamerverse Hall of Armor and a comic and an MCU, but I still think you can blur the lines between Iron Man and just put them anywhere you want. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's your own display, you create your own rules, and I will absolutely put these into a comic Hall of Armor for sure. And just to prove my point, here we have a selection of comic book armors. And yes, even though this one is a little bit more detailed in regard to the sculpt, it can still work in a display. I do apologise, a lot of my MCU Iron Man figures are packed away at the moment for the collection room refurb, but here's a couple I had to hand. It is the black and gold Iron Man I showed you from the start of the video. So yes, this is absolutely an upgraded version to switch out in your display if you wanted to. And then here we have the holographic armor as well. So I still think this guy will work in an MCU display as well, absolutely. And it turns out I could find the head that came with one of the Gamerverse Iron Man figures. So here we have that Gamerverse Tony Stark head, and it does fit onto this black armor. Now the neck is a little bit long, but you can make it work. So as I said, you could absolutely build a Gamerverse Hall of Armor, and you even have an unmasked Tony Stark head that basically works on all of these bodies. Here we have a couple of other characters that feature heavily in that Midnight Suns game. It is of course Blade and Wolverine. Blade is also a part of this Mindless One Build-A-Figure wave, and that is one of the many Wolverines we have in our collection. But as I've shown, there are a lot of Marvel characters that get an upgraded black and gold suit that would pair up beautifully with this Iron Man. Now, will Marvel Legends give us any more? Who knows? But if they were, let me know in the comments below who you would like to see in the black and gold suits from this game in figure form. As this is a mystically charged suit, here we have two magical characters. It is of course Clea, who's also in this wave, go and check out my review, and Doctor Strange. And I'm far too lazy to take this Doctor Strange off his flight stand, but I do think this black uniform Doctor Strange complements this mystically charged black and gold Iron Man a lot better. So imagine this guy with some sort of blast effects on, all posed up on a flight stand. These two would look great together. Here we have the 20th cap and the brand new Black Widow. Here we have Spider-Man and Daredevil on the Renew Your Vows body. Here we have a hand ninja and a fist ninja in case you need some army builders for your Iron Man to beat up. And since I haven't played the game, I'm sure I'm missing some relevant comparisons with some bad guys or even some more good guys, but a lot of my figures are in boxes currently, so you'll have to let me know in the comments below who I could pair this Iron Man up with. But I'll tell you who he does look great with. It is of course the Who crew, so here we have Frogman, Tigra and Joe Caster, who is reading out comments from the last Marvel Legends review. Make sure you leave a nice comment on this video and she may pick you to read out on the next one. Who have you picked today?
Check Skills 5184 says, in the Spider-Woman comic, Jessica Drew calls her Lady Boobs Out.
And then last but absolutely never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. Stop. Creepy Hal Fire Hank. Anyway, final thoughts on this Marvel Legends, Marvel Knights Mindless One Build-A-Figure wave. Midnight Suns Iron Man. Now, I'm a sucker for Iron Man, so I may be a bit biased, but I do like this character design. I have no attachment to the game. I've never played the game, but I just like the black and gold colour palette, and it's definitely an upgrade compared to any black and gold Iron Man we've already got in the Marvel Legends line. That's for sure. I like the subtle mystical effects on the gold, and when the light hits it just right, it does look good. And yeah, I will find a place for it in my display. Now, again, if you have played the game, let me know if it's any good in the comments below, and would you like Marvel Legends to release any more characters in this black and gold colour palette to complement Iron Man on the shelf? If they had to make two more, who would you pick? I'm curious. Blade has to be one of them, right? And some of the villains in there look pretty creepy as well. But always curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. And if you like Marvel Legends, then you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlist, podcasts, all that good stuff. But hit that subscribe button, hit all on the notification bell. Don't miss out on a video. And please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Go and check out all those other tiers. I'm on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on Twitter or X at Dan Who Reviews. And I will see you for the Mindless One Build-A-Figure review on the next one.